What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be bringing you my top 10 pickups of 2020. So again, these are going to be my personal pickups that I was able to grab. I don't own any bots. I don't own any proxies, monitors, or whatever the case is to try to get shoes. Otherwise, I would have grabbed everything this year, but I was not able to grab every single thing that I wanted. Mainly because I usually try to grab at retail, and if I can't, then I just move on. So enough of that. Before we jump into this, definitely subscribe to the channel, give a like on this video, and definitely let me know if any of these make your top 10, and let me know if you grabbed any of these or you were able to grab all of these. So jumping to number 10, we'll do 10 to 1, and number 10 of my top 10 of 2020, we're going to start, is going to be the silver, the gray Japan 1. So y'all are probably very familiar with these. These are a pair that I have always looked at. So when finding out that they were dropping in 2020, they were definitely a must grab, just like a lot of other kicks that they're re-releasing now. But this was not a pair that I was able to have, the OG. But I'm glad that they were able to make these a widely available shoe, especially here in the US. So pretty dope. These made the number 10. They had to make the list. I'm glad that a lot of ones released, but here you go. Number 10, the Japan 1, the gray Japan 1. At number 9, this is a pair that was mass produced, but before it came out, and I'm still glad that I have them, this was a pair that I was super hyped to see on the calendar that was going to be releasing in 2020. They were madly released. Seems like if you wanted a pair, you should have been able to grab a pair at retail. That's how much that they were released. But yeah, it came with the dog tag, which is super dope, but just a lovely pair of sixes. I'm not the biggest fan of sixes. There's only certain colors and ones that I actually like. So this being one of those was definitely a must grab. I would not complain one bit if they decided to drop the 11s sometime soon that were included in the package that came out over 10 years ago. I believe it was 06 that they came out. Could be wrong though. That was number 9. Number 9 is the Jordan 6 DMP. All right, number 8. Number 8, here's a pair that I love. We have the Cork Purple Jordan 1s 2.0 version. So got your Chicago color blocking. Instead of red, we're going with the Cork Purple. So that's number 8 on my list. Alrighty. Number 7. Number 7 is the Royal Toes. Not laced up yet or anything, but here we are, the Royal Toes. These were super dope. So glad I was able to grab a pair. Somehow I was able to grab a few pairs. I ended up letting a couple go. I didn't see the need to double up. I mean, I would double up anything, but I try to only double up on you know, ones that I really feel like I need a double on, and not everything. Otherwise, I would double everything because I like to rock my kicks. But there you go, Royal Toes, Royal Toes. That is number 7. Let's move to number 6. Now here's a pair that I was glad I got. I'm super hype about them, but they couldn't make my top 5 because I do feel like they are a little overhyped. We have the Air Jordan 4 Union Guava Ice color. Now, again, I feel like these were obviously a little overhyped. I do think it is a dope shoe. I have not cut the tongue. Very, very dope shoe. It didn't make my top 5 because personally, this wasn't one of my top 5 pickups for me, but definitely still a top pickup of 2020. Definitely love the colorway. I love the colorway on these. I love it. I would say my only drawback is I'm not the biggest fan of the yellow bottom. It's not terrible, it's not bad, but that's probably the one thing that I'm not that big of a fan of. Outside of that, the shoe is super dope. The tongue cut, I'm pretty sure it's gonna make it even doper, but there you go. That is the 6. So far we have number 10, the Japan ones, number 9, the DMP 6s, number 8, the Cork purple ones, the 2.0 Cork purples, and then number 7, we have the Royal Toe ones, and then the Guava 4s, the Unions, make number 6. So top 5. Here we go at number 5. I have the Midnight Navy Japan ones. So number 5 is the Midnight Navy Japan ones. I like these better than the silver Japan ones, obviously with my ranking. For my personal pickups, I would definitely have these as a top 5. I just love this colorway. These were another pair that I was glad was releasing. I remember when the reports came out, they were saying the gray and the navy. Then the gray popped up because it was coming out earlier, but they didn't have the dates on them. So I was actually kind of nervous that these weren't going to release, but I'm glad that they were. So there you go, my number 5. Number 4, one of my favorite J's of all time. One of my favorite J's of all time. It's going to be the Jordan 13 Flints. I love this shoe so much. It's more nostalgic than anything. When I found out that they was releasing them this year, of course, I thought it was all cap. It wasn't real. Y'all said this a bunch of times. Then when the pictures started floating, I got super hyped. So you see, I've already broken man a little bit. I had to go straight to foot with these, but here you go. My number 4 of the year is going to be the Jordan 13 Flints. Also a lot harder to grab than I thought that they would be, but I was somehow able to double up on both at retail, so that's super dope. Next, this might be a little bit more controversial, but again, this is my top 10, and this is my number 3 of my pickups of 2020. And we're going to go with the UNC to Shy Jordan 1s. So again, my personal pickups, I love this colorway. It's super dope to me. I think I like them a lot more than the average person. I don't know. I love this powder blue back here. I love the bread toe concept. I love the UNC to Shy. It's such a dope shoe. Now these came in women's sizing, so of course I had to adjust the sizing. So they are technically a women's shoe. But what's, women's, men's, and Jordans is just, they extended the sizing, so they knew men would go after them anyway. But yeah, so this is actually my 3rd. I love this pair a lot that came out this year. It was definitely one of those ones that I just had to have when I first seen the picture. So number 3, Jordan 1, UNC to Shy. Alrighty, so next we have number 2. Number two is going to be the Air Jordan 4 Fire Red. This is a pair that I had the 2012 version. I didn't have the Mars version. I'm not old enough to have the OGs, but it is definitely one of my all-time favorite Jordans. Once again, one of the OGs, all-time favorite Jordans. So it goes without saying that whenever we're gonna do the OG Nike on the back, I definitely had to grab a pair. I for sure did. One of my favorites. Red is also my favorite color. So when it comes to Jordans, a lot of the OGs tend to be some of my favorite pairs, and this is definitely one of my favorite J's of all time. Fours are also one of my favorite silhouette. Might be my favorite silhouette, and then ones is probably my second favorite. So that would obviously have to go with a lot of the colorways I'm probably gonna like, especially the OGs. I like every OG colorway of the fours, but these fire reds are just, they're great. So definitely had to put these on the top 10. Number 2, they didn't make it. You will see why, to a non-OG, but you know, these had to be up there. So yeah, so let's jump into my number 1 pickup of 2020. Again, this is my personal pickups. If I could have got other shoes, maybe they would have made it, but out of what I've got in my top 10 is here, and let's go into number 1. Number 1 is gonna have to be the Air Jordan 5 Off-White, and this is obviously the metallic colorway. I believe they call it muslin, or muslin, however it's said. But yeah, so this is definitely my number 1 pickup this year. It has a lot to do with obviously the hype. It was my first off-white shoe. I think they're a super dope pair. I'm glad I was able to grab them for retail. Funny story, I was able to actually get 2 for retail. So they would actually get rid of another pair and they kind of paid for these. When I went to go pick them up, I was able to score in Chicago, pick them up at the Nike store. They actually gave me 2 taller sizes to go with the shoes if I wanted to. So it was such as a dope pickup, dope experience. I haven't went to go get shoes in the store in so long, usually all online for the most part. So this kind of brought back that feel of going into a store. I had to wait in the line, but I had my pair already reserved. But it was just dope. It was super dope. But there we go. Number one. That is my number 1. So yeah, there we go. My top 10 of 2020. Of course, I purchased tons of other shoes, Jordans, but they didn't make it on my top 10. Some honorable mentions would go to the Air Jordan 5, Fire Red is the new name for it, I guess. I'm used to the other white, red, and black being called Fire Red. We'll see what they call those. Though the pine green ones were great. The Black Cat 4s were a long time coming. So I mean, yeah, it's tons of pairs. The smoke gray ones were dope. Just to name a few there, but these right here are my top 10. So if you paid attention to the box, you probably knew that these were coming at some point. But yeah, my number 1. I have not worn them yet. Have not broken them in. But they're just such a dope pair of kicks. And again, my first off-white ones. So thanks for tuning in today, guys. Thanks for tuning into this. I definitely wanted to get this out there. Been very busy, but I definitely wanted to get my top 10 out there and get it solidified on my account before we get further into 2021. And yeah, we'll see what 2021 brings. I know 2020 was a huge year for sneakers, for kicks. It's probably the best year that I know. I wouldn't say obviously not the most exclusive kicks, but just the amount that came out and the amount of flavor. And you know, whoever you are, if you like Jordans, there were tons of shoes that came out this year that you liked. I'm pretty sure there's tons that came out that you didn't like, but very dope year for kicks. So again, thanks for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and again, definitely let me know, did I get my ranking off? Did you guys, do you guys agree with it? Do you not agree with it? Which ones in here do you think are terrible? They should have made nobody's list. And which ones in here do you feel like I have ranked completely wrong based on the 10 I have? So outside of that, guys, I definitely appreciate it. And peace out.